particular module of NX, we are going to learn some of the basic commands in NX. So go to File and in New, create a new file, and then the NX graphics window will appear. So there are the various command in NX. So this is the data plane, and this is the interface of NX that is being shown there. So in order to sketch, what we have to do, we have to go to sketch, and then we have to select a particular plane on which we want to actually sketch. It would be any of the plane, and these are all the commands. After pressing enter, we will be able to execute all of these sketch commands. So firstly, we have rectangle. So just a basic overview of all these commands. From there are three type of rectangles. We can make rectangle from 2 points, we can make rectangle from 3 points, and we can make rectangle from middle point and the corresponding point that is aligned with it, and an offset point. So this is all about rectangle. So we can make rectangle by all of these methods. The first two rectangles that I have made is by using the first two methods, and the third rectangle is being drawn by the third particular method. So secondly, the second command is a circle, and in circle we can make circle from center and by giving the radius. So this is first method, and the secondly, we can make circle by plotting its three particular points from which it can draw a circle. Thirdly, we have lines. We can make lines easily. So this is just an overview. We can just make lines. Then we have arcs. Arc, there are also two methods of arc. We can specify 3 points. If your view is distorted, you may go to orient to sketch in the view section, and you can fit it in window again. So I was talking about the arcs. So in arcs, we can make arc by various techniques like 3 points arcs and center and 2 point arcs. So this is all about two methods of arc. This is just an overview about arcs. Till now we have covered an overview of rectangle, circle, line, and arc. So this is about arc, and like I am now trying arc from the 3 points, and in the same way we can allot a center and two points from which we can draw an arc. So this is about arc. We have splines. At this particular moment, I am going to skip the splines because it needs some sort of details. And our next option is fillet. It means we can round our corners like this one. I have just rounded a rectangle. You can give specify radius. We will be covering all these commands in the next videos. So in order to have an overview of our design capabilities, I am just giving you an overview. So this is about fillet, and in the same way I have drawn fillet, I can also use the chamfer command. So in chamfer command, I have to, for example, I have a rectangle, and I'm going to make rectangle from 2 points, and then I'm going to apply a chamfer on it, and just we can also specify distances. There are various details that we will be covering our next videos about chamfer. So this is about chamfer, and we can actually modify the chamfer distance from the corner point, and this is about chamfer. So other commands that we can learn now is the trim, extend, and corner command. So how the trim actually work? So we have to select a curve, and we have to curve to trim. Select a curve, and this is actually the curve that we have to actually specify the boundaries from the curve. For example, I specified my two boundaries, and when I select the curve to trim, then the actual part that I am going to remove will be trimmed. So this is about trim command. In the same way, we can just trim a particular line without actually specifying the boundaries. boundaries, and once we have specified the boundaries, the region with that is within that particular boundaries will be trimmed. So this is the difference between simple trim and trim between boundaries. So this is all about trim, and it is just an overview, and I am going to elaborate it further. For example, we have two columns of lines, and we have a structure like this, and I'm going to now trim it. So how can I trim it? I have to actually our first method is I could just select a curve to trim, select a line to trim, and it will be trimmed. So this is the first method. Secondly, what I could do, I could specify two boundaries, and then I select the curve to trim. So it will trim it will trim the line that is present between those two boundaries. So this is about trim command. And I am going to have some couple of more practice about it. So this is again without selecting curve, pressing trim, and it will trim it. So this is trim, and now I think it is enough till now. And uh, I can also work on some other commands, like in this particular module we can also work on some other commands, that is like extend and corner. So I'm just trying some lines in order to give you a brief description about how I can actually work on some other commands. So these are lines that are being drawn in order to give an overview. So now in this particular module, firstly I have actually trimmed the horizontal lines. Now I'm trimming vertical lines. So I have specified boundaries, and after specifying boundaries I just trim the middle line. So I think till now it is enough about trim command. So for example, now just an overview about a corner command. So we have to select two lines, and what kernel actually do, the kernel actually work just by extending a particular portion